I'd like to call the meeting back to order, please. I am, again, I'm sorry, MP Sidhu, for interrupting, but we will get back to your motion here again, so please, if you can continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As I gave notice of my motion last meeting, today I'm moving my motion that pursuant of Standing Order 108, the committee call upon the Minister of Health to move as quickly as possible to conduct a review of the laws and regulations in place with regards of safe injection sites. This review should have as an end goal to improve the health and safety of Canadians using a strong evidence-based approach.
MP Sidhu, we have been any, I'll let Dr. Carey talk first here.
That I did, Mr. Chair, find this motion quite unusual because the minister can already do this at her discretion. I would have thought that she's already reviewed her files that she has in front of her. So call me old-fashioned too, but the comment here was safe injection site. I don't like that term safe. I think we've heard that really there's no way to safely inject street heroin that could be laced with whatever off the street, could be kerosene into your veins. It's not something that's safe. So I would like to propose a friendly amendment if we are going to go this route. I think, like I said, the minister can do it anyway, but I would like to say, let's say after the second sentence, this review should, and I'd like to add, be reported back to committee. Like if the committee's asking her for this, it would make sense to me that we actually get a report from the minister so that we can see what she said, and have an end goal to improve the health and safety of Canadians using a strong evidence-based approach. And I'd like to also add that strengthens consultations with communities who will be affected, because I think it's really important. If you want to have some success, you have to have communities that are supportive. So that would be my attempt at improvement.
Okay, so you put forward an amendment to the motion to change the wording in here.
And I'd like, sorry, one other thing. Instead of safe injection sites, could we say consumption sites or something like that? Change that word, because there's nothing safe about it.
All right, we'll go Mr. Davies.
Yeah, in terms of the latter, sometimes we use the words supervised consumption sites. Is also, I think, an adjective that we can use. The other kind of amendment that I kind of think ought to be made is to strike the word "and safety" out. We're the Health Committee. If we said this review should have as an end goal to improve the health of Canadians using a strong evidence-based approach, that's the point of this. And I think we've heard our witnesses testify over and over again that really the point of this bill is to make this a health decision, not one that's diverted into issues of criminality or safety. So I would just say, and in fact, to be honest, I think the concept of health embraces safety.
Okay.
So I would move to strike the words "and safety."
Right. Mr. Davies, we were going to go on the amendment to his amendment first and vote on that. But Mr. Carey, you...
A point, we had health officials here, and the mandate of the minister is the health and safety of Canadians. So to remove safety, that doesn't make sense to me for asking the minister.
All right. Mr. McKinnon, on the amendment to the motion.
Yeah, I think Mr. Carey, Dr. Carey, I think we have three separate amendments here. I would suggest that raise them as three separate things.
Yes, absolutely. And we do have 10 minutes, so let's deal with the First Amendment.
Justin, I would suggest the First Amendment that you're proposing would be to change safe injection sites to something such as supervised consumption sites.
That's what you indicated?
Yeah, okay. I'm fine with that if you guys are fine with that.
And then at the end, you wanted some...
One would be to report back to committee.
To report back to the committee, that's the second change there. And thirdly,
Third one, add that strengthens consultations with communities who will be affected, because once you have an injection site in a community, it can change that community forever. So I think it's important that they have an opinion and a say.
Any comments on the amendment?
I'm sorry, what is that amendment? I'm a little bit behind. We've got the supervised consumption site, and then, Colin, you wanted to have a report back?
That'd be the second amendment then.
Okay. And what's the third?
At the very end, that strengthens consultations with communities who will be affected.
So, Mr. McKinnon, you have a sub-amendment to the amendment?
So, am I to understand this as one amendment to make those three changes?
For maybe to quickly get through it, because we're actually
nice.
over time already, and I have another thing to go to. My first one, if it's unanimous, I'd just like to scratch safe injection sites and put supervised consumption, Don's wording. Is everybody okay with that?
If that's a separate amendment, I support that.
All right.
Can we have a vote on that one amendment then?
You know what?
Please, yes, that would
Sorry,
be nice.
you know what? I'm just told I'm going to have it just as one amendment. Let's just vote on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got.
That are very different. We need to report on. We need to.
All right.
Do you want to know? I put the amendment forward originally, and Mr. Chair, unfortunately, we are overdue.
Okay, we'll vote on the amendment.
Then we'll vote it down. Yeah.
The three changes in the amendments. The supervised consumption sites, also the addition of be reported back to the committee, and then thirdly, that, I'm sorry, what?
It strengthens consultations with communities who will be affected. I'll put that
Okay.
over here.
So we're going to vote on that amendment to the motion. If you're in favor of the motion, of the amendment to the motion, please show your hands, please. Okay, and if you're against the motion, please raise your hands. All right. Well, the motion, the amendment to the motion has been defeated. Mr. McKinnon.
I'd like to move an amendment to change safe injection sites to supervised consumption sites.
Okay. All right. We will vote on just that amendment to the motion. In favor of that motion? And opposed? Okay. It's been passed. That change will be made.
Then they should vote on the main motion.
Mr. Davies? Then vote on. Yeah.
The motion that obligated the minister to report back to the committee on the result of her review.
Okay. Can I get any discussion on that? All right.
By the way, I don't mean her personally. I just mean that we get from the minister's
All right.
office.
Okay. Then I guess we're prepared to vote for your amendment to the motion. In favor of Mr. Davies' motion, can you show your hands? Okay. Opposed? All right. That one's passed. So now we need to move back to the original motion if there's no more amendments to the motion. So the motion that has been amended, the motion put forward by Ms. Sidhu, are we in favor of the motion? Please show your hands. And opposed? Show your hands. Thank you. It's been passed. So the motion has been passed. Thank you. So now we need to go into